Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat. It's good to be with all of you who found us on the Kincardine United Church YouTube channel. And thanks to Judy Zarubik with her skilled technological experience, which makes this recording flow so smoothly and professionally. I never have to worry. I am blessed by you, Judy, so thank you. Now, I know that Judy's house is always clean and tidy, even when grandchildren have been visiting. However, for some of us, and I certainly include myself in this, we might need a strategy like this if people come to visit unexpectedly. For those living with allergies who love the 60s folk groups, this might strike a chord. During the housing crisis, it is always buyer beware. In the aftermath of the Thanksgiving weekend, the kids might be getting a little rambunctious, and that can become dangerous. For those of us using Amazon even more during the pandemic, have you ever wondered how Amazon got started? See, and none of those cats was named Jeff Bezos. This past week, the Nobel Prizes for Science were awarded, making me wonder. And here's an update on an old approach to getting into a place under secure lockdown. One of the odd realities around the scientific method is that some of the greatest discoveries have been by accident. In these days of email typos, what accidents might happen? The leaves on the trees continue to change and to fall, which has a natural and beneficial side effect. For Worldwide Communion Sunday over a week ago, I decided not to use this option. In these times of social media rabbit holes, we now have 5 horsemen of the apocalypse. I must admit, I really struggle with this growing reality of polarization that has been accelerated by social media misinformation. In fact, Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen, testifying at a United States Senate hearing, revealed some alarming information. She stated that Facebook is not able to effectively police anti-vaccine misinformation, for example. Frances is a former Facebook product manager for the company's civic misinformation team. She released a trove of internal documents demonstrating the social media company's negative impacts. She added that Facebook's efforts to remove misinformation were only likely to remove 10 to 20% of such content. I must admit that I really struggle with those who trust the so-called news feeds from social media. As I have pondered why misinformation is so powerfully toxic on social media, I have come to a sad conclusion. In our society, the trust in our institutions, and in this case, particularly the press, has become increasingly eroded. As a result, the very fabric of reality for too many is based on opinion. If then opinion is the guidepost instead of relying on verifiable fact, polarization is more easily accomplished. So what do we do as people of faith when encouraging those who disagree with us and we with them? We may not agree. We may not see eye to eye. We may not have the same beliefs. We may not even have the same priorities or even view things from the same perspective. That doesn't mean we can't get along. That doesn't mean the other person is any less deserving of our kindness. In a world where opinions seem to be dividing us more and more, let's remember our humanity. Let's treat others the same way we want to be treated. We don't have to agree, but we should always be kind. Maybe that is what Jesus meant by loving kindness. As Pablo Picasso said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So what do we give away? Maybe we give away our willingness to listen and to grow in understanding. After all, we don't know what each person's experience in life has been like. If then we take time to talk, to listen, to get to know one another, not out of judgment, but out of a desire to connect, we may well find the common ground we at first doubted even existed. If we take that leap of faith to love our neighbor as ourselves, we learn to jump without fearing the fall. There may well be pain in the encounters we pursue, but if we give it all we have, hope arises in the relationships as they are nurtured. When we encounter one another through honesty and in invulnerability, there may be figurative bones broken, but such is the very act of love to which we are called as followers of the risen Christ. I want to share with you this video produced by the One Voice Children's Choir covering the song I Lived, written by Ryan Tedder and Noel Patrick Zanicala for the group One Republic. Behind the scrubbed faces and happy smiles of the choir members, consider what life experiences they may be navigating that we just don't see on the surface. As you listen to the song, consider this lyric in the chorus. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, it's screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
Living with our broken bones in life means that we have lived indeed. Each of us faces pivot points that change everything suddenly in our lives beyond just the ongoing reality of the pandemic. Simple phrases redefine our whole reality, like, we're engaged, it's a girl, you got the job, I want a divorce, it's cancer, I love you, he's dead, I'm pregnant. We can look back on our lives and see moments where our decisions set us on certain paths that determine the conditions for the next set of decisions. Some of our choices bring us regret and some great joy. All of them teach us. Of course, we all long for predictability in life. Some assure us that these pivot points lead to happiness rather than regret. So much of our lives are changing right now. Well, that has always been true. The safety nets that we use to protect us from the impacts of change are crumbling around us. Safety nets like job security, housing security, healthcare, and family. Life does feel risky, for sure. That's why I am grateful to be a person of faith. Consider this image created from two palm prints. There is a unity in this image, even though it was fashioned from two prints from two different people. They are powerfully stronger together. Romans 4:8 says, if we live to the Lord, and if we die to the Lord. So then, whether we live or whether we die, we are the Lord's. In life then, no matter what the pivot brings, we are not alone. We are not abandoned. We should not be afraid. If we are indeed all in the same storms of life, consider this. Everyone wants to be someone's sun to light up someone's life, but why not be someone's moon to brighten in the darkest hour? After all, sometimes in life, we just need a hug. No words, no advice, just a hug to make us feel better. Good theology is rooted in the conviction that, on the whole, all things are at work for our well-being. Of course, that does not mean that bad things don't happen. Nevertheless, I believe that the long arc of the universe bends toward love, justice, healing, and peace. The impulse is built into the very source code of life. While bad things may happen, I trust that the flow of life is ultimately working for the common good. Pivot points are part of life. They are moments that define us, strengthen us, and change us. I believe we should welcome those pivot points because it is in those pivot points that we meet God. That is not to say that we only look out for others. We need to care for ourselves in equal measure. After all, we can't love others unless we first love ourselves as God loves us. Here is some of what I mean. Our happiness has worth. In these polarized times, let us give away our gift of loving kindness so that we may foster happiness for ourselves and for others. Let us be joyful despite the broken bones we may sustain in our walk of faith. I am always so deeply appreciative and joyful for those who give of their technical expertise in this digital world. Terry Boyd and David Skinner make sure this material is uploaded to our YouTube channel, dealing with all the intricacies of what YouTube might require. Thank you both for all that you give, which enables this ministry to thrive. I want to share with you a video featuring people from over 300 communities of faith in Ireland, which is called the Irish Blessing. Note that this is an unusual collaborative project between diverse number of communities of faith, many of whom see the world and their faith very differently from one another. However, it is also testimony to relational connection that encompasses loving kindness and shared purpose. It starts with the familiar hymn, "Be Thou My Vision." I think that is most appropriate as we continue to pivot while learning to live with COVID-19. After all, we certainly need a vision to sustain us individually, empower us collectively, and unify us as a community of faith. The last part of the video affirms what I have been saying in this fireside chat, that we need to remember we are always God's own and that we are not alone. God is with us. Thanks be to God.
Christ within you, Christ behind you, Christ before you, Christ beside you, Christ to win you, Christ to comfort and restore you, Christ beneath you, Christ above you, Christ in quiet, Christ in danger, Christ in heart, Christ in love, a friend and stranger.
Go mami an tíirna hu, agus go goodie sé hu.
The Lord make the light to his face, and the goodness of his heart to be brecht upon you.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.
The Lord bless you
And keep you,
The Lord make his face
face to shine upon you
and be gracious to you.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon you
and give you peace.
يباركك الرب ويحرسك.
Niech cię Pan błogosławi i strzeże.
O Senhor faça resplandecer o
facă să lumineze fața lui peste
യഹോവ തിരുമുഖം നിന്റെ മേൽ ഉയർത്തി നിനക്ക് സമാധാനം
Kosi fuini alafia.
I pray that you carry that assurance with you until we meet again for next week's Fireside Chat. Be well, take care, and love one another. Goodbye.